Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks for Friday, July the 22nd. I just thought I'd start with the US dollar index here because it's a weekly chart and goes back to 2008. And it does appear that, well, we could count it as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 5 waves up for wave 3 and ABC for wave 4 here, and then up for wave 5 here. So we've been tracking 5 waves up through here, and we'll have a quick look at that on the daily chart. But if there is a top in here, you know, wouldn't that support the stock market if that came down? It's not my area of expertise as such. I mean, we all know some things and don't know other things, and I know a few things, but I'm not sure about that. But one would think this is the daily chart here, just picking it up from that wave 4. So we've been putting, you know, we've been counting out curves and waves up through here, and it's possible that there's a top in play here now. Still needs to be confirmed a little bit, but it's looking pretty good. But yeah, so yeah, but no but. So there we go. With that said, I thought that this is Apple here. I normally spend a little bit of time on Apple because it's kind of central to the markets, but I just want to have a look at the weekly chart, which I haven't seen for so long, and I just want to look at the speed of how that's moving up here, you know, in relationship to how fast the price is moving and how far it is in relationship to the previous high here, you know. So in this regard here, because with this particular indicator, stochastics, it's really the speed of it. So that's a good 50% there, and because if it was going up too fast, well, then it'll be a problem, you know, in terms of bullish. So it's about a little bit fast, just a little bit faster than the price, but that's nothing untoward. Don't worry about the count too much. I haven't looked at that for so long, but that was sort of our target area for that, and there's different ways to count all of this, so don't worry about that too much. But I mean, it just looks like a correction in the scheme of things, doesn't it? But look, it's not over until the big lady sings. So what we're doing is we're considering a low being in place, and it could be a wave 4 or wave 2, just depends on how you want to look at it, look at the bigger picture rather. So we're looking at it as a ABC correction and done and dusted, and that's why I wanted to just bring in the US dollar today, because if that is a top there, then, you know, that could be quite supportive for these markets. And but at the same time, we don't want to lose our heads or stick our heads in the sand. So we're tracking this up here as a corrective wave. Now, Apple looks really quite bullish and has got a nice wave structure up here, but they don't all have that. And there's stocks like Berkshire Hathaway that we can count 5 waves down from the top here, 5 waves down. So, you know, they would have an A and a B and a C wave and then come down. So this is what we're tracking here. We're tracking this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here as well. And so that means that I need to force this particular count into other stocks, and into all stocks, because they would follow it. But it looks a little bit unusual to do that on some stocks like Tesla, for example. So look, I think there's a good case for a low being in place. We've said that before, but at the same time we need to look at it as a corrective pattern and look at this as just one leg to the downside. Yeah, so I think that's the safe way to approach it. At the same time, though, we're also long in many stocks through all of this as well. So we'll just track both counts to the upside with all of this. That's basically what I'm doing. And you really need to keep your own emotions in check too, and your opinions can get you into trouble. And not to say that I'm right or wrong or you're right or wrong. It's not really about that. It's about making money. But what I do need to say is that, you know, when the market was down here at the low here, then the media and because the market's there, and we think that too, there's a lot of influence for thinking the end of the world sort of stuff. And we've got a count that looks at the end of the world, but as I've mentioned through this low here, that end of the world scenario hasn't really, just doesn't feel and look right, but we can't rule it out just yet. As we talked about yesterday, we need to take it to the max, to the extreme. So that's what we're doing in that particular case, so we can't wipe that out as well. But even though we're going into a bullish thing here, what I wanted to say is that don't be lured in that there is a low in place and, you know, you're going to bet the kids in the house on and the missus on it all at once, you know. We're long, and we'll be mindful of the turns and the bearish counts, and we need to manage that. So it's really a step-by-step process. I wish I could say that the low is in and we'll be making new highs above here and we'll be at 200 in no time. Look, it'd probably be the case, but I don't know that, you know what I mean? So I can only work with the Elliott Wave structure as I step by step as I can see it in this particular case. Right, so all of that said, then this is the situation here on the daily chart. So this is a bit of a bullish count here. So first of all, we've got this A, B, and alternative C wave here. And yeah, and we just go up from that point. Now, Apple is kind of zooming up. Others are catching up, like Tesla's catching up. It had its earnings. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of an ABC pattern to the upside, some of these markets that have moved up here haven't moved up very much at all. So that's why we're looking at this as an A wave up here and a B wave back again and a C wave up here. At the same time, we're long here. We'll be mindful when this structure finishes here. With Apple, there's different ways to count this. We can count it up as an A and a B and then a C wave up here. This third wave, as I got it here at the moment, is pretty much the same size as this wave 1 here. So if you wanted an extended 3, we can put that over there and put wave 4 here and then look for 5 waves to the upside. So we've got to count like that as well. There's a few counts that are going on. So in calling a top in, we won't just call a top in for, say, Apple. We need to basically look at the structures for the half a dozen, 10 stocks or whatever we look at, and call, you know, and come to a conclusion with them as a group and say, well, this looks where they could sort of terminate, and I think this is where we need to tighten up our stops and look to take profit, and then we'll do this if this happens, and we'll do this if that happens, and work through it like that. So yeah, don't believe me in that this is going to be a nice A, B, C up here and then come down. Like I said, this, you know, we could be in a situation where that just goes up to the 200 here, you know. So we don't want to look like idiots. Not that it doesn't really matter, you know, once you're dead, nobody really remembers you anyway for a while, after a while. So it doesn't really matter what other people think. But, you know, we do want to make money out of it. So, you know, we do need to do our best to do all the right things at the right time. So I've got different counts for this to come up here, but we will take a consensus on all of the stocks, all the important ones and the indices, and come to a conclusion that this is where we need to be careful and yada yada yada. So in that said, we've got a few different counts here. I think I got bullish counts on 1, 5 and 1, and then we'll go to 100 or something like that. So anyway, some of them may be updated, some of them not, so it doesn't really matter too much, but let's just start here. So, okay, this is a bullish count. This is one way to look at it. The thing about this one, though, is wave 3 here is really the same size as wave 1 here. So it's not a really big wave 3, but that's okay for a wave 1, because sometimes in a wave 1 you could have the extension in wave 1 and then, you know, a smaller wave 3 and a smaller wave 5. It sort of diminishes into that point and then comes. So it's possible. Normally when you have wave 1 and wave 3 the same size, you'll get an extension in wave 5 here. So that could be the case as well. There's a bit going on here. All we can do is take it from Like, we know that's 5 waves, we know that's 5 waves, this little move here is 5 waves, so we need to track this 5 waves. So in these spaces, which we'll look at, we'll know where we are. It's just how do you count this bigger picture as such, you know. This is another way to count it. We could count it up as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave for the A and the B here, but I don't like that because the B wave is too small. We need to have this really over here for that. So that's not going to work. Yeah, let's just go to our 100 tick where we've been working on this. I think it's 100 ticks. Yeah, a few bits of things there. Is 5 enough? Yeah, 5 gets us to the bottom. So that's the bottom of the market here. We could look at this first move here as wave A. We could look at it as wave 1. I could also look at it as this wave 1 here as well. So this wave 1 here and this wave 2 here, and then looking at this going all the way up to here for this wave 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 here. And I think that that's what I might have to do. So calling this a wave 4, I don't particularly like doing it because it's more like a wave 2 correction. But anyway, just keep it on the sidelines, a wave 4 and then a wave 5 up here, because I'm trying to, when we go through the stocks, I'm trying to find a top that would be suitable for all of the markets, you know, all the markets that we look at, of course. So yeah, so we've had it as, you know, an A and 1 and 1 and B and so on, and 1 here and 2 here and 1 here and 2 here and pushing up. But this here is 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here. This is fine for the big bullish move, but it would probably take us too far for the other market. So I think that we may need to shift to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 coming up through to here for the A wave up here. Once we've got that A wave, then we'll need to come in for a B wave over here and then a C wave up through here for that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, we'll just work through that. So currently we've got a couple of long trades there. So we'll probably see if Friday closes strong, then Monday's going to follow through on that as well. Okay, so we'll probably see a nice smooth run. You'll see profit taking probably coming in on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday are the swing days. And yeah, so we should be pretty well right for all of this. So what we can do, we can count 5 waves up here of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 and 2 here, and then we got 1 and 2 here. So we should move along quite nicely in this little wave 3, 4, and 5 up here. So we should reach wave 160 without too much problem. There will be profit taking at the 8 here, and when we talk about 8, we talk about group 2 as well, so just for the day traders. So when we talk about number 8, we talk about group 2. In this case, it'll be 15650 and then 72 in here as well. So 15720, got you there. There we go. So there will be profit taking coming in in those spaces. So if you know that's going to occur, then you can sort of chill out and you don't have to sort of wonder what's going on at that point. The 162 up here is going to be a little bit critical because if you're talking geometry, then and we use price as a Fibonacci sequence of numbers. So the 162 is 62 is, well, 168, isn't it? So so yeah, I think in that I'm thinking I think the important run that we need to look at is, for all the markets, is this 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. Now, when we get to this point here, I think this is the important point here for the markets, right? For all the tech stocks and so on, you know, even Bitcoin. Bitcoin doing this is all part of this as well. So I think this is what we're looking at. So we're safe on the long side for a wee while with all of this. Okay, So it shouldn't be a problem. We'll just get that to those trades to break even. And you probably want to think about locking in some profits at this point, be it taking profits or taking a percentage off the table. But we can discuss that, and we can move that, and we'll see what the markets look like at that point. Okay, so moving on. So the other stocks were the same. So, you know, as I mentioned in this thing here, we've got this 5 waves here. This sort of is where we are. We've got this thing here, that move here. That's really what we're looking for in the other markets in a way. So we're looking at something like this here, you know, and then we'll have our ABC pattern here for this. So yeah, I mean, as a wave 1 and 2 here, looking good. Wave 3, nice, strong, long and powerful, and all the rest of it. We haven't seen it break out of this trend line here yet, and that's very typical of wave 4s. So that might do that across and plus the 180, we always call 180 a profit taking number. So that's where that will be. We'll just put in a stop just above the entry here. We talked about, I don't know if I just put that there this morning or we had that there yesterday, I can't remember, but either way, if you want to lock some in here and buy a dip, that's fine. So yeah, everything's said and done. We should find support on the 180 and get up here between the 190 and the 200 in that case. And look, having 5 waves here, I mean, that, you know, if that is going to be the case, that's going to be so helpful. I mean, I've got wave A here, but that could also be a low in the market as well. So having 5 waves here is going to give us a correction and then another 5 up. I mean, if it just fails from here, for example, and I've made a complete nut of myself, which wouldn't be the first time, then that would be an ABC pattern. But as long as that really stays above, let's just say this move here stays wherever that is above, say, the 38 point, say 165, yeah, we'll just use the trading levels. So as long as this market doesn't find the 165 as a retested resistance, then we'll be bullish. Okay, so that would be the cut. So our stop is in the right place for all of that. So that's Nvidia and Amazon as well. Let's just go back and have a look at this on the daily chart. I haven't seen that for a bit. Just get my bearings. Wasn't the daily chart, it must have been 10k or something because of that spike. Right, so look, yeah, it's possible to have lows in for a lot of these markets. There's an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. But if this thing is not an A and a B and a C down to here as a low here, then we need to call it wave A here, and we need to be up here for wave B. So we're looking for, look, you could count this in lots of different ways, to be honest. As 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and going up for a third wave is good, and fourth and fifth for that. You could have this as an A wave here, a B wave here. You could have this as an A wave and a B wave over here and a C wave up here. Look, you could look at it in different ways, and I think it's important to, you know, I mean, it's nice if it can just be one thing, but the reality is it's not, you know, and it can be dangerous believing in something, you know. You either know or you don't know. Believing and you know, that, I mean, obviously that goes into a spiritual world, and faith, you know, can be a bit of a light to get to your destination, I suppose. But you know, when it comes to making money in these things, you know, you can't afford to make mistakes. So you need to, you know, understand that things can be counted differently. But I have to say, it looks quite nice as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. And then this is producing a nice sort of third wave up here. So whichever way we look at it, I think we're long in this market. That we've got further to go to the upside. Now, the 130 is going to be a sticking point. Yeah, because of these lows and because of the old highs here. But in terms of the trading levels, if we got a classic trading levels pattern at the 130, then that would set the target at 150 if we got that. So will we get that? I don't know. It looks like we've got some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like we'll get there. But will it give us what we want at that point? And do we need to look at this as an A wave here, an ABC for the B wave here, and 5 waves up for the C wave here? So there's different ways to look at this, and we just need to go steady as we go. So are we on, was that 100 ticks we were on? Maybe, okay. So let's get in a bit more data so we can see where we are. So yeah, so that's just get that low in place so we've got our bearings. So this move up from here, we don't need that now. I mean, we know we've got the 130 there. So we can look at this, you know, we could look at this as wave 1 and 2 here as well. Probably counts better as a C wave by the looks of it. I did have it labeled, but I've taken it off. But yeah, it does count nicely as a structure for it. So an A wave, a B wave, or wave 1 and wave 2 here. Yeah, that's where we are. And this here can also be, I've got another count here, like I changed Apple. So I've got this as 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, and 5. So I've got a couple of different ways to count it up through here. We had it as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as wave 1 and 2 here. But I'm thinking that if the other markets are going to top out in a particular time, I can't call all that wave 1 here. It's just not going to work. So I have to call that wave 1 and 2 here. And then I have to call this green wave 1, green wave 2, green wave 3, green wave 4. And then this will give us green wave 5 here, which will make this wave 3 here, and then this wave 4 here, which will be this one, and then this wave 5 here. So that kind of puts me in line with Apple and Nvidia and that, you know, if I bring Nvidia back across here, this like 3, 4, 5 in this case, you know. That's what I'm kind of thinking. In terms of staying long, we don't have to worry about that until Monday. We'll see what things look like. But yeah, so I'll probably need to change this count. But for the time being, the 130 is the target area up here for that. So take part profit or do whatever you need to do at that point. Okay, so I don't know what happened to Facebook here, but certainly turned and fell out of bed as I got earnings today or something. So we've been looking at this here as also a corrective pattern, but do I need to put that in here as, I mean, I was looking for wave 4, but that's really quite deep to go in there. So I'll just have to, I can't do anything about that. I'll just have to see where that takes us at this point. Let's just look at this in a couple of different ways. Or anything below here, and it's if this number here becomes the retested resistance, well then we're going down at that point. But I think it's probably just a spike, and we'll see recovery on that in the next session. So the 170 and the 172 here should play out as a reasonably nice support. It's just that I'm not quite sure how to label that now, because that wave 4 is coming quite deep, and that's what spikes do. They sort of sometimes, you know, sometimes they're just, I mean, they're real, but and they need to be included. But sometimes when I look at the count, you know, I might not, because let's just say that in the next session there's a recovery and it comes sort of back up to here and then starts to make its way back up here to finish off here, then it's like, well, what do we do with that? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there's not much I can do with it until I see more price action with this. But yeah, as a wave 4, it looks a little bit sort of low. Could I put it up as 5 waves? I'll have to look at this again. 1 and 2. I didn't do a very good job on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be in there. Okay, that could go to there. Then this one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2. and we'll have to get that 3, 4, 5. I'm okay with that, but then it would make, if I put wave 4 here and looked at that as wave 5, that high there, then it's just it's just a little bit small, isn't it? You know, if I put wave 5 here, I mean, it is a new high, but it's just that wave, fifth wave, is just a bit small for these guys, you know. So I'm a little bit unsure about what to do here at the moment, so I'll put it down as I don't know. I'll just see. I mean, we're in group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80. We call it a profit taking number, and it's certainly been hit, but normally it would be hit when it gets here, you know, but it hasn't gone very far, and it's still here, and it's still in group 2. And while it's in group 2, I think we need to stay on the long side. So we'll just stay where we are there. So if you're long in this at the moment, which has been unfortunate, but this level here, if it became the retested resistance, that 167, and then as the resistance, you would need to see it like, I'll just do it simple like this. If that's the 167 and the market moves through it and goes, it will go back and check it, put the stop here, and then lift the stop up to this point, because in most cases it will come back up and move up from that point. So that's the way that you would address the stop if you've got time to be there at the time, you know. The next one is Tesla. So with Tesla, there's a good case of having an A wave, a B wave and a C wave in the market. The only problem with this is this wave structure down here didn't quite make a new low, and secondly, the 5 wave structure here has got a little bit of overlap in it as well. So there's 2 boxes really that are not ticked properly. They could be sort of ticked, or you know, but you know, the thing is, sometimes markets just don't, you know, bottom and top the way that you would like them to. So sometimes you need to be a bit philosophical about it. But at the same time, what we need to do here is we need to look at both cases. We need to look at a case we got a low in and we're going to make a new high up here, and then the other case is that we're going to go up into the 50-60% area here and then have another leg down at that point. I know that you'd say, oh no, Pete, that's done. That's a nice ABC pattern, and we're going up from here, and you can see how strong it is and all the rest of it. And I tend to agree with that. But at the same time, you know, we have to look at everything. It's like when we look at Berkshire Hathaway, we'll have a look at that from the top, wherever the top was, coming down. We've got 5 waves coming down, so that means that it should, you know, have an ABC and then go down again. So if that's going to go down, well, then these are going to go down as well, surely. So there's good cases for all stories really at this point. If I was looking at this, we can look at this here, this move here. It's not finished to the upside. We can look at it. It looks nice as a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and going up for a third wave. It's like it's, you know, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. It's doing all the right things for that. We could also label it where the 1 is as an A wave, and then put a B wave over here on this one as an A and a B and a C wave here, and then look at this as a C wave up here. So the 5 waves from this low here to the top here, that's going to be important. So when we looked at Apple and Nvidia and Amazon in those, that finishing off there, that's what we'll also need to look at here as well. I think we're on 1K, so we'll just check on that. So yeah, this 5th wave coming down here hasn't made a new low. I mean, it doesn't really break an Elliott rule, because all you need to do, it can be a truncated 5th wave. It just needs to have 5 waves. So it's got its 5 waves, but also we've got a little bit of an overlap in from wave 4 to wave 1 here. So I don't know. I mean, some folks are pretty strict on all of that sort of thing. I'm a bit more easy on it. I just look at all the counts and then look at the best, you know, the most logical outcome of it, you know. So yeah, so we can look at this as the A wave here, and then the B wave here, and then the C wave here. And then, like with those other markets, we were looking for like a bit more into the top area through here. We know 8 is important. Normally also too, when a market doesn't stop at the number 8 here, like because it's called 8 a profit taking number, and the wind has been taken out of the sail of this number coming across here. But when a market doesn't stop at a level here. We call that the overshoot pattern. So there's only 3 patterns that occur at levels, and this is the overshoot here. So with the overshoot, it doesn't stop at the level here, it goes up. But normally what I find, just a rule of thumb, the distance that goes up above here and runs out of steam will be the distance that comes below here. And then we'll eventually find the 800 as the balance point. So there'll be a series of highs and lows coming into this particular number here. So that's what I think that will happen here. So yeah, we can take that away here for a moment because that's a little bit misleading. I think that what will happen is we'll end up doing something like this here before going up. It'll be something like that, you know. I'm thinking here that this would be a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. So 1 and 2, and then this one here be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll probably, so this version here, there'll be a smaller version of that. So then we'll have this move here. Let's just come back and do that again. Let's just trace that out properly. So this will be 1 and 2. That could be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have to go for that one. 3, 4, 5. I know that will be there. So there'll be some sort of little ABC pattern in here for this. I think there could be 2 highs though. There'll be this high and then a check back and then another one to the upside. It'll be something like that. Because we got this 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here. So there's basically, if this was a bit higher here, I'd probably group them all together. But this situation here, this group here of 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then the third wave moving out. Anyway, we're looking for a top probably 830 to 850 here, and then we'll have a larger correction coming across this level here. And so we're expecting all stocks to sort of top out and then have this pullback here. And then once that's done, then another move to the upside. But I need to be careful about this one here. You know, I don't have any evidence of that yet. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. On the bullish side, we can look at it as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then obviously we'd be looking at this as the third wave up here. I won't draw that in at the moment. We're going to be sticking around this number here. 8's the third strongest number. 1, 5, 8, and then 3. So that's just according to me, so don't take it with a pinch of salt. And we're just going to go have a look at 100 in here somewhere. Okay. So yeah, we know all about these sorts of all the different types of counts. It's probably a good place to take some money off the table here, and even though there'll be further upside, but it will stop you if you take some money off the table. It will stop you being a junkie to the price, because we get addicted to the price. What's the price? What's the price? Especially when we've got too much money in. So yeah, so anyway, that's where we are really. So we can look at that as 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3. Here I've got that as 3. Is that right? Maybe I'll just double check that. But anyway, we're not, you know, it's going to have support at when we look at a number like this here. We always go to the next smaller degree. Well, we're going 2 smaller degrees, so we're going into minor levels here. So 8, when we talk about 8, we talk about 65. So well, near enough, and 72, so 772 in here. And then on the top side here, we'll be looking at 10 and 20 and 30. So that will be, in a nutshell, that's going to be the swing range for this correction to play out here. So I always, for myself, is if I was trading this, then I would be taking money at the 800, and then I wouldn't worry about it until I see a matured pattern here that we can either go long or short on. Finding support on the 830 will take us to 9. This here as resistance will take us down further at that point. So that's just the swing range. So it's a good idea not to make any decisions in here. It's a good idea to take money at the level and then it's a good idea not to do anything in here, because there will be a series of swings in here and you'll only be confused, probably. I mean, I just don't make any, I don't worry about it, you know. I mean, I just allow it to mature in here. And see, when you've had a nice strong trend as well, then that's a big emotional event for a lot of folks, you know. And when we have an emotional event, it takes us time to recover from that, and that recovery time is the fourth wave, you know, because it's always complicated, and you know, unwinding the threads of having an attachment to a relationship, even if it's with the markets, you know, it takes time. So enough waffling, moving on to Alphabet. So as I mentioned before, with Alphabet, as soon as it did the split here, it's behaving differently. You can see that in the price action here. So there's new plays in this. So I just wanted to observe it for a little while. If I was just going to bring it into the fold of the other markets, then we could see that it needs to come up here further, and then it's going to have an ABC pattern in here, and then it would go up again after that. So it would be something like that. This here does appear to be corrective in nature because of the overlapping wave structures, but you could look at it as being positive as well. You could look at it as wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C here for wave 2, then up for 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, up for 1, back for 2. So it could be bullish. I mean, it can be, you know, I could do it like that, but at the same time too, it makes a reasonable corrective pattern. But I'm not going to call any trade. I can tell you that it's going up, but I'm not going to call any trades in this for a good week or so. I just want to observe it and see what changes are going to be installed for it, from new players being able to enter the market at that lower price. Okay, Microsoft. So this was a blue wave A last time we looked at this. So I've lifted the whole thing up 1 degree of structure, so an A wave and a B wave, so nothing's really changed. And what we were looking for here was a top to be taken out above here, because we had 3 waves here, and we had 3 waves here, and I was concerned a bit about it because we had 5 waves here. So the rest of the markets are pushed up. This will do a bit of a catch up, so it should move along quite nicely. If you wanted to trade that, then as we talked about that yesterday, taking the top out here for that, there'll be a classic trading levels pattern at 65. It's now going to move into group 2, 65, 72 and 80. So between 250 medium level, then you got the minor levels here, minor group 2, and then the major level here. I don't know if I don't think we'll get all the way up to that point, but we'll be there somewhere. It's been a bit, you know, some of the markets have moved right up like Apple, but then Microsoft hasn't really moved up much at all. So I'm not sure how far it'll go, but step 1 is getting support on getting a little classic trading levels pattern in here, as to the setup on 265 to go long at that point. It's not going to move that quick in here. There's lots of supply over here for all of that, so it's not going to be a fantastic trade. It's not like a leading stock at this point. So in fact, I'm going to take it out, and we're in things like Apple that are leading, and the leaders tend to range more, and the followers are safer to trade because we know it's going up, but it just doesn't have the range. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Old Bertie over here. So we've got from the top here, it does count. I will double check it, but it does seem to count down as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. I'm just checking it. That could be changed, so I'll need to check that. But 1, 2, 3, the size is okay. 4, a bit dodgy, but that will be okay there. So yeah, I could put this 3 here actually. Anyway, I'll go back over that. If anybody's done any work on that or is trading it and things, let me know. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as it stands at the moment, and I will go back and check that now, because if that is 5 waves directly down from the top, you would think that you'll just have an ABC back to the 50-60%, the box, the supply levels here, and then have the C wave down here. So this is one of the cases that suggests that this would be a corrective pattern here. So I do need to go back over and check this. So I'll try to remember to do that over the weekend. But just letting you know, that's one of the sort of one of the little pieces of the puzzle to having that to the upside. So anyway, much the same as the other markets. I could look at it as wave one here, but we've got it as an A wave so far, an ABC for the B wave. For the C wave of B, the 5-wave structure overlaps here as well, so that could be looked at differently. But if that was not going to be a C wave, well then we'd have to look at this as an impulse wave here. So if you can get an impulse wave out of that, well, please let me know. I'm just playing it a little bit cautious here. We've had this as wave 1 and 2 before. I've got wave 3 here and 4 here. This wave 3 is a tad longer than wave 1, so it's suitable. But if the other markets around the world have still got to go this one, and this one to the upside to finish off, then there might be more to this. But I've counted it very conservatively here. So I think what we might need to do here is, look, it might get to the 300 and surprise me, but I think that we need to, at least on this top of this trend line here, I think we need to either take profit here or take some percentage off the table at that point, just in case it doesn't have the legs to go there. You know, it runs a pretty tight race, this one, so, and there'll be some relationship between the length of wave A and wave C as well. So I think the 290 might be quite good. So we'll see how that plays out, but I've tightened the stop up to put those into a bit of pocket money. And Square here, so I'm thinking with Square's another one that's got 5 waves down from the top, but its top was started longer before the other tops were in play. As an ABC pattern here, because it's tuning into the other markets, I'm thinking that I've lifted this up to another degree as an A and a B and a C wave here, and then a B wave here, and then a C wave here. So I'm thinking this is the case with most markets, but I still yet to prove that. All we can do at the moment is things that we do know is work the impulse wave to the upside. So as an A and a B and a C wave. Once it gets here, we'll say, well, can it be a third wave? You know, can it be 1, 2, 3 here? Or could it be wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1 here and 2 here? Or could we look at this as 5 waves and go, oh, but that doesn't give me a corrective wave there. So as an A and a B and a C, that's probably more likely here. So this would have to be a wave 1 of the next degree if that was going to be, you know, a big bullish market at that point. Is that possible? We'll have to watch the pullback in here to see if we get a corrective pattern here, or we're going to get an impulse wave down. So there'll only be little parts of the thing that we can trade in all of this, and then, yeah, so it's going to be sort of a little bit sort of tricky, but we'll just have our moments, that's all. I was looking at this finishing off in the same way. I've changed the count here a little bit. I've gone 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5. So I'm thinking we get this, because I'm kind of looking for that pattern to finish off across the markets, you know. So we can pretty much safely trade long, stay long for Friday and Monday, and probably Tuesday and into Wednesday, and then we'll probably have to call it quits and look at the short side. But that's where we are for Square, and this will be the same for the banks. Now, I haven't really had time to focus on the banks a bit. Let me just bring this in here. Now, let me bring this back a little bit further. Right. That's June. So most of the markets, right, so the S&P low, for example, Bitcoin's low, all the other stocks are around the 15th to the 17th of June, which is here. So we've labeled it like that. So I've just sort of followed that, really. So looking, I'll call that in as the low, and then look at this as I mean, it's not like I have 5 waves finishing off down here, do I? Do you know what I mean? It's in 3 waves. So to look at this, calling the low in over here for the banks, then looking at this as the A wave, the B wave here, and the C wave here. Now, I might need to change that in the sense of expanding that out, because what we're doing with the other guys is we're putting that over there, we're putting that over there, we're putting that over there like that. I'm yet to prove that, but I'm just really wanted to talk about this for a moment here. So that means I need to put the B wave here. That means I need to get rid of that and put wave 1 here. Let's just get rid of these dudes here. Don't need those. Keep it clean. So we'll look for 3, 4 and 5 to the upside. So how do we do that? That looks, I mean, it just seems natural to put wave 1 and 2 here, but then it's not. This is this is lagging in time. You know, I don't know if I'm going to get it there in time. You know, I would need to look at this here then as wave 1 and 2, which is going to kind of put me behind the timing of the markets in a way, you know, for the other guys are topping out. So we're going to have a bit of a plan B here, I think, for this, because it's lagging too much, you know, and the wave 3 would have to be shorter than where the extension's going to be in that. So I'm not quite sure the best way to go about doing this, but we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, that's probably going to be the top, and that means that that also means that I wonder if I need to put this here. I can see that I need to do something weird, you know. I mean, that's about the size of it, but it just doesn't sit very well. Okay, look, I've got a problem with this. But I don't have an answer for it just yet. That's our target, 35, okay. I just want to have a look at the other guys. Yeah, I have to rearrange all of these as well, but that's okay. Look, if you're long in this, it's still, you know, you can go long in it. I'll just put that there if you want to go long. That's not a problem. You'll get up here somewhere. So I'll just see if I can get 1 and 2 out of here, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just leave this one the way it is. What about the other one? Haven't seen that for a while. 17th of June, 18th, 17th, 14th. Okay, well, we'll have to go there for that. So it'll be something like this is a better third wave, isn't it? This is all good here. I mean, we haven't looked at Goldman's for a while, so yeah. So this is a bit better, you know. I don't know if I need to put that in here or put that. I suppose I do need to put it there somewhere. So we'd just be looking for some sort of. This would be the one to trade. It's got more range in it, you know, it's leading. So it'll be something like this, you know. Okay, well, that's it. Alrighty, sorry for such a long video. But anyway, that's it. So alrighty, enjoy the weekend. Cheers.